Hello YouTube. Now, as you've seen from the description of the video, this is about two comparable graphics tablets. Now I love graphics tablets. I've been using two different Wacom ones over the last 10 years or so, and whilst the hardware is great, I've always had loads of problems with the software and the drivers. And it's got really silly. It's got to the point where about 80% of the time when I pick up the tablet to use it, I can't because the drivers have uninstalled themselves, or they refuse to acknowledge tablets present, or they right click whenever I touch the tablet with the stylus or stuff like that. It's getting silly. So I decided to get a new one and did loads of research, as you do, and I came up with the following two tablets as possible replacements. Now the Wacom tablet that I was used to was wireless, but you know, I don't really walk around very much when I'm doing my editing. I tend to be sitting at the computer, so that was, you know, would have been a nice to have, but not really very important. So I looked at the things that were important to me. I'm left-handed, so I need to be able to rotate the tablet freely in the drivers, another thing that the Wacom was very bad at. I like to use hotkeys rather than have to reach for the keyboard each time, so I had to have physical keys on the tablet itself, and I like quite a large size because I like to be able to move the stylus around as if I was using a pad or a canvas. So I narrowed it down to these two, and obviously, as you do, couldn't decide between them, so I bought them both. I'll see which one I like the best and sell the other one on. Now the Huion, however you pronounce that, they're getting a very, very good reputation amongst a lot of people online. The XP Pen, some people like them, some people say that they've had problems with the drivers producing less than entirely smooth lines. They get flat spots and jaggies when they try to do a smooth stroke. But this is their latest tablet, and I'll check that out. So I've cut the plastic on the box, we can open that up. So, usual sort of thing, thank you card. Here's the tablet itself. See, it's quite a big size. I mean, I've got big hands, but you can see there how big that is. And it's got 12 hotkeys down the side and a load of soft keys along the edge. Now, I have to say, this feels really nice. It's very solid. There's no flex in it. It feels every bit as robust as the Wacom tablet that it may or may not be replacing. Little holder there for the stylus. So you get that on the camera. There's a slot for a micro USB card there, with the USB card in it by the looks of it, and a connection there. That's a, sorry, I said USB, didn't I? That's a micro SD card. There's a micro USB. It's not a C-type, it's just a micro. Cables in there. Stylus. Now there is a difference between the two. The stylus on this one, I know, is battery powered. There's a little, probably not going to get on the camera, but there's a little hole there where you plug it in and charge it. But they last about 350 hours or something between charges, so I'm not worried about that running out. So that's not really a problem. It's, feels quite nice. It's got kind of a soft touch to this plastic towards the front, so that's quite nice. Little nib there. So carrying bag, glove thing, all sort of stuff that you'd expect. I think we'll have a look at this in detail in a minute. I will put that back there. And this is the XP-Pen Deco 1. If I can get it open. There we go, that slides off. There we go. And it opens up like that. Please visit the website for the latest drivers. I shall do so. Here's the tablet. Here's the holder. Oh, it's really heavy. Nice weighted holder for the stylus. Here's the stylus for this one. This one doesn't use a battery. This is a passive stylus. There are no batteries, doesn't charge up, nothing like that. So that's more like the Wacom stylus. It's really light. I mean, it feels like an empty biro tube. I'm not sure how I'll get on with that, to be honest. It's very, very light indeed. But it's got a good thickness to it. Yeah, that's all right. Wow, it's lighter than the Huion, whatever, but it feels really nice. That feels, well, like the Huion, it feels like a premium product. It feels every bit as nice as the Wacom tablet I'm used to. You've got 8 hotkeys, and on this end you've got your cable connection. This is a USB-C by the looks of it, not a micro. For all the difference that makes. There's the cable, instructions in there by the looks of it, and that's about it. Right, I've got first up the Huion tablet in front of me, all hooked up, the drivers are installed. This was something I didn't show you. It was in the box, the little stand for the stylus, spare nibs, nib puller. It's quite light, not as heavy as the other one. So let's have a look at the software. This is what you download. This is actually on the tablet, on that little card that was in the tablet. But I just downloaded the latest version from the website anyway. So the working area, you can, as with all these tablets, you can set the working area to a certain proportion of the tablet, or set it to the full size. As you can see here, I've got mine set to 180 degrees because I'm left-handed, so the keys are over here on the right hand side, because my right hand will be using the hotkeys. Set up for the stylus. It's been charged, so as you can see, I'm just using the stylus now. Just start pressure tests. Now, one thing that both these tablets have in common is that they were both 8,000 and something different levels of stylus sensitivity. 8,000, well, this is 8,191 there. But you do have to press quite hard to get it to go all the way up to the top. But it's nice and smooth. The pressure on the nib is nice and smooth by the looks of it. Yeah, not quite sure where will be the best for me. That's interesting. Well, I'll put that in the middle for the time being. cancel that. And the hotkeys. Now this is something I've noticed that could be improved in my opinion. Over here I set 180 degrees for the orientation of the tablet. On the keys setting menu it hasn't changed it, it's still in standard, so the keys are over here, but of course when I try and set them they'll be the other way round. So okay, it's not exactly rocket science, but it's something that could be easier. They could have this reflected in the orientation that's been set, but it hasn't, so it's no big deal, but you know, there's something to worry about later maybe. Enable soft keys, I haven't bothered with those at the moment. If I keep this tablet, that's something I might play with later on, but I'm not too bothered otherwise. So here we have a Photoshop, a nice blank canvas, and let's if you see any lag, you can blame my ancient PC, because what I'm seeing on the screen is pretty much instantaneous. Now I've got this set to the pressure affecting both transfer, so basically the amount of ink going down, and brush size, so you can see as I'm going round, as I press, it gets bigger as well as getting darker. Not quite sure what those spots are. What's happening in the middle there? I'm not sure whether that's a tablet thing or a PC thing. I say my PC is very old and knackered, so it could easily be any of the above. So I've got the hotkeys set as I normally have them, so I've got zoom in and zoom out. I've got brush size up and down. Now I know that there is a combination of keys you can have whereby you hold it down, and I think it's up and down is hardness and left and right is brush size, but I haven't looked into that. So if we just do some spirals, turned the hardness right up. That's interesting. Now I don't know what's causing that effect. I haven't seen that before. I don't know whether that's a setting that I've got wrong, or whether that's something weird going on with the tablet, if I'm completely honest. Don't know. What I can tell you is that I'm not seeing any inadvertent flat spots. There's the occasional, I mean that, for example, that was me, where my hand doesn't flow completely smoothly. Turning that on has caused quite a bit of lag. Turn that off. That's better. Now I wonder if I go into the brush properties and I turn off the size jitter. So now the pressure should just be giving me, I don't know, that didn't work. So, you know, it's got a good feel on the board itself. Doesn't have the eraser on the end like the Wacom did, but to be honest, I never ever used it, so I don't really see that as a loss. Right, okay, I shall try the XP pen and I'll get back to you.